కృపావార్త కార్యక్రమమునకు స్వాగతం. నేటి ధ్యానాంశము ఆత్మ, స్పిరిట్. ఐగుప్తు గుర్రములు మాంసమే గాని ఆత్మ కాదు కదా. The horses of Egypt are only flesh. They are not spirit. యెహోవాను గానము చేసెదము ఏకముగా, ఆయన మహిమ పాడెదము, ఆయనను వర్ణించెదము, ఆయన మహిమ పాడెదము, ఆయనను వర్ణించెదము. యుద్ధ సూరుడే యెహోవా, మా బలము మా గానము, మా పితరుల దేవుడు, ఆయన పేరు యెహోవా. మా పితరుల దేవుడు, ఆయన పేరు యెహోవా. యుద్ధ సూరుడే యెహోవా, నా బలము నా గానము, నా పితరుల దేవుడు, ఆయన పేరు యెహోవా. నీ మహిమాతిశయమున కోపాగ్ని రగులజేసి, చెత్తవలె దహించెదవు, నీపై లేచువారిని చెత్తవలె దహించెదవు, నీపై లేచువారిని. పారో రథముల సేనలను తన శ్రేష్ఠాధిపతులను ఎర్ర సముద్రములోన ముంచి వేసెను యెహోవా. ఎర్ర సముద్రములోన ముంచి వేసెను యెహోవా. దోపుడు సొమ్ము పంచుకొని ఆశ తీర్చుకొందును, నా కత్తి దూసెదను అని శత్రువను కొనెను, నా కత్తి దూసెదను అని శత్రువను కొనెను. నీ మహిమాతిశయమున కోపాగ్ని రగులజేసి, చెత్తవలె దహించెదవు, నీపై లేచువారిని చెత్తవలె దహించెదవు, నీపై లేచువారిని వేల్పులలోని సములెవరు పరిశుద్ధ మహనీయుడా అద్భుతమైన పూజ్యుడా నీ వంటి వారెవరు అద్భుతమైన పూజ్యుడా నీ వంటి వారెవరు నీ మహిమాతిశయమున కోపాగ్ని రగుల చేసి చెత్తవలే దహించెదవో నీపై లేచువారిని చెత్తవలే దహించెదవో నీపై లేచువారిని ఇశ్రాయేలీయులంతా ఎంతో సురక్షితముగా సముద్రము మధ్యాన ఆరిన నేలను నడచిరి సముద్రము మధ్యాన ఆరిన నేలను నడచిరి నేటి ధ్యానాంశము ఆత్మ స్పిరిట్. ఐగుప్తు రథములు మాంసమే గాని ఆత్మ కాదు కదా. The horses of Egypt are only flesh. They are not spirit. So do not fear. Do not be dismayed. Let your heart not be troubled. Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you. The one that is with you is greater than the one that is with the enemies. The one on your side is far greater than the one that is on the enemy's side. Which side you want to take up? Do you want the tree of life, or do you want the forbidden tree? This is the time to make a choice. You have every freedom. You have every liberty. No one is restricting your freedom. No one is obstructing your way. You can go in any way you want. This is the time of decision. This is the hour of decision, to make a choice. You want to choose the power of flesh, or you want to depend on the power of spirit. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. But me and my household will serve the living God. After seeing the faithfulness of the Creator God all through the 40 years in wilderness, in desert, in hopelessness, while being thirsty, while being hunger, while being fearful, Joshua has seen the faithfulness of God. Joshua has seen the life of Moshe. Joshua has seen how Moshe with confidence, with boldness, with courage. Stood before Pharaoh. Even though his life was at stake, Moshe did not fear to fulfill the mission entrusted by God. Moshe, I have heard the cry of those that are in oppression. Are you oppressed? Are you in prison? Are you suffering injustice? Are you burdened? Are you fearful? Are you sick? Are you bedridden? Are you not able to rise from your bed? Are you held as captive for your sickness? Fear can be through many ways. Poverty, lack of financial resources, lack of job, lack of livelihood, lack of home, lack of good health. All are causes of sorrow, fear, agony. This is the hour of decision. This is the hour of choice. Choose for yourself what you wish to choose. There is tree of life before you. If you eat from the tree of life, nothing will ever harm you. You will have life in abundance, life to the fullest. And this tree of life is Jesus. And there is another forbidden tree that you should not touch or eat of its fruit. Why? It is harmful to you. It will cause you to die if you consume the fruit from the forbidden tree. The attributes of the enemy, the qualities of the enemy will enter into you. Jealous, hatred, greed, lust. And ultimately, when you sow according to flesh, you will reap corruption, and your body has to rot, and you have to forego eternal life, and you have to partake the destination and dwelling place of the enemy of man and God, the Satan, that is hell. No man created in the image of God should ever go into that place of suffering, place of torment, place filled with agony. That is not for man. That place is not created for man. Even before the creation of the Garden of Eden, even before the creation of man, the Satan, the rebellious Satan, has revolted against the Lord Most High, and the fallen angels, the angels that rebelled against God and were cast out from the presence of God, from heaven, were destined to that place of torment. hell. Angels are created to live forever. Because in pride, one of the angels, covering with its wings the glory of God, the light of God, so that the light of God, the glory of God, will not fall on other angels, felt in its heart, I will exalt myself to the throne of the Lord Most High. In its pride, it wanted to exalt itself above the throne of the Lord. This is greed. The moment, the thought of greed, when it has originated in the angel, covering the glory of God, the chief of the angels, what has happened? Because you have exalted yourself above the throne of the Lord Most High, because you have given place to greed, because you have given place to thought of rebellion, disobedience, you will be cast out to the lowest parts of the earth. The rebellious Satan has fallen. It could not retain its initial estate. It could not retain its high stature. It could not regain its virtue of being in the presence of God, and it was cast out from the heaven. In the book of Isaiah, we see how the Satan was fallen from heaven. తేజో నక్షత్రమా, ఆకాశము కంటే సర్వోన్నతుడైనటువంటి దేవుని సింహాసనము కంటే నేను నీవు హెచ్చుగా హెచ్చించుకునేదను అని అనుకుంటేవి. పాతాళం కంటే లోతుగా నువ్వు పడద్రోయబడదు. ఇన్ ద బుక్ ఆఫ్ ఏషియా వి సీ ద రిఫరెన్స్ టు the rebellious Satan. The angel once it gave place to pride, jealous, greed, it was cast out from the presence of the Lord Most High. Nothing unclean will ever enter into the celestial city. When man is created in the image of God, like a newborn child. Can we see any trace of hatred in a newborn child? Can we see any trace of jealous, greed in a newborn child? Likewise, man is created in the image of God. No trace of jealous, no trace of hatred, no trace of violence. God has clearly told, your enemy, the adversary, is roaring like a lion, whom to devour, whom to destruct. Through this fruit, through this way, the Satan will tempt you. Do not listen to it. Do not entertain the words of Satan. Do not give place to the lies of Satan. Rebuke the Satan, it will flee away from you. So long as you listen to my word, you will dwell in perfect safety. You will be in peace in this paradise. The moment Adam and Eve listened to the lies of Satan and doubted God, doubted the love of God, when disbelief has come, when greed has come into the heart of Adam and Eve, they have consumed the forbidden fruit. rather than choosing the tree of life, Adam and Eve have chosen the forbidden tree. Adam, where are you? We are behind the tree. Why? Why are you behind the tree? Why are you far away from me? Why do you hide yourself from me? You are my children. What caused you to go away from me? Today we see so many children going far away from parents. What for? Give me my share of property. I am your son. I am your legal heir. Give me the property that I should get. What for? Are you not the heir of all that your father owns? For whose sake your father has accumulated all the wealth? Is it not for you? Will he not give you? Do you need to ask him? Give me my share. What for? I don't want to be with you. You are an obstruction to my freedom. So long as I am with you, I cannot live in the way I want. A father has two sons, the youngest and the eldest. One fine morning, the youngest son comes to the father and asks his father, give me my share of wealth, give me my share of riches, wealth that you have earned, that you have accumulated. What happened to you? Suddenly you have come and are asking for the share of wealth. Who has provoked you to this? Who has given you this idea? Who has given you this thought? This is not good for you. Out of my experience, I am telling you, this is not the time to take your share of money. In due time, I will give you. You must give me the share that is due to me. The youngest son wanted the father to give him his share. When the father is in his old age, when he is about to breathe his last, he will share his property between his children. The son has love for the world and no love for the father. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. I and my household have decided to serve the living God. There is a choice to make. The youngest son has chosen the pleasures of the world that are harmful to him, that are only temporary, that are only lasting for a while. Long-lasting love of father, the youngest son has neglected and wanted his share of wealth. After telling the consequences, after telling the future happenings, the father, not willing to disappoint his son, not willing to cause sorrow to his son, gives his share of wealth, riches, money, all that he legally owns. Did the youngest son, after getting his share of wealth, prosper? No. He sold all his ancestral property, he sold the fields, he sold the land, he sold the house, he sold the livestock. All that his father has given, the livestock, the land, the fields, the house, everything, in the same day he has sold, took all the wealth, took all the money and gone to a far off place. This is the thought of devil. Your adversary, the devil, is roaring like a lion. It will show So many attractions. Do not believe, do not be deceived. Be on your own guard. Are you choosing the strength of flesh? Are you choosing the strength of horses or the strength of Spirit of God? Are you choosing the power of the horses or the power of the living God? If you choose the power of God, like Caleb, like Moshe, your youth will be renewed. In 120th year, Moshe has not lost his eyesight. His eyes were so good and he is able to have good vision even in his 120th year. He is able to still lead the people of Israel, the children of Jacob, to the threshold of the promised land. He is in good health. This is what is the result of choosing the Spirit. The youngest son has chosen the strength of horses, packed all the money in a chariot and took the horse and rode on the horse and gone to a far off place. The horses of Egypt are only flesh, they are not spirit. They will not last forever, they will not last for long. These will be the consequences, these will be the repercussions if you take your share of wealth. There is time for everything, this is not the time. You have not yet learnt from me how to make the land fruitful so that the land will yield much of its fruit to you. You have to learn from me. I have learned enough from you. I don't want to see your face anymore. Give me what I should get, all the ancestral property I want. The father was grieving, yet not to make his son disappointed, he has given his share of ancestral property, the land, the house, the livestock, the gold, the riches, the precious stones, all that he had, the father has shared. The same day, the youngest son has sold all the ancestral property and converted it into currency, dollars, and took the dollars, took the vehicle, today's cars. In those days, horses, chariots. The horses of Egypt are only flesh, they are not spirit. Moshe, on the contrary, what did Moshe choose? Moshe has a choice to make. Moshe can very well choose the honors of Egypt, the authority, the power that he deserves. Moshe was brought up by the daughter of Pharaoh. As the prince, he was brought up in the palace of Pharaoh. He can very well be enthroned with the king over Egypt, Pharaoh. Yet what did Moshe choose? Moshe chose the reproach for Christ rather than the treasures of the riches of Egypt. ఐగుప్తు ధనము కంటే క్రీస్తు విషయమైనటువంటి నిందను మోషే గొప్ప భాగ్యముగా ఎంచుకొనెను. మోషే కన్సిడర్డ్ ద రిప్రోచ్ ఫర్ ద సేక్ ఆఫ్ క్రైస్ట్ as a great treasure compared to the riches, the authority, the power, the throne that he rightly owns in Egypt as the son of the prince of Pharaoh. What is the consequence? Even in his 120th year, Moshe was in good health. He has not lost his sight. Only that's all. Only that much. Not only that. More than 600,000 Israelites were led from slavery to freedom. Is it an ordinary thing to lead such a multitude of great people from oppression, from injustice, from crying, from weeping, from nothingness, from sorrow, to freedom? What is the end? Moshe could see the end. Moshe, I myself will lay my hands on your eyes. You will be gathered with your ancestors. We should always see the end. Our vision is so narrow, so short-sighted we are. So we will not be able to see beyond. Moshe could see beyond. So Moshe made a good choice. Moshe has chosen the reproach for Christ rather than the treasures of Egypt. It's obvious if we were to have reproach for Christ and treasures and riches of US, treasures and riches of the second world largest economy, China, what do we choose? I would rather choose the treasures of US. I would rather choose the treasures of the second largest economy in the world, China, and prefer to move from my poor, impoverished nation to such a rich nation. This is the state of affairs prevailing in this world. Don't we see so many people moving from poor nations to developed countries? There is nothing wrong in that. We can move, but is the movement directed by God? Have you planned your travel seeking the will of God? Ezra has to make a move from Babylon to Jerusalem. So Ezra is praying, Lord, there is a travel before me and the path is fearful. There are thieves in the path. All harms are awaiting in the path. I am not going alone. I am going with the riches. I am going with the treasures to be transferred to the temple of the living God. I am going with the riches. I am going with the gold. I am going with the precious jewelry. I am going with the precious vessels of the temple of the Lord Most High. I feel so low to ask the king to give security because the king has seen what I am. The king has seen my faith. The king knows that my dependence is on the Lord. So it is a shameful thing for me that I ask security for the things that I carry from the king. Do I need security from the king? Do I need security from the army? Is my trust on the flesh? Is my trust on the chariots? Is my trust on the horses? Are these chariots, are these armies, are these horses not just flesh? My trust is not on the armies of the king. I have to make a travel, I have to move. Will you be with me? Will you be guarding me? Will you be protecting me? All the things that I carry with me, can I be able to take safely to Jerusalem and place them in the temple of the Lord Most High? What a wonderful prayer. Before making the travel from Babylon to Jerusalem, Ezra is praying. Before embarking on the journey from Babylon to Jerusalem, Nehemiah is praying. Our sufficiency is of the Lord. Choose for yourself whom you are going to serve, but me and my household will serve the living God. Ezra can simply go to the king and ask, "O king, you have been so generous. You have given us a written authority, power to rebuild the temple of the Lord. The God has stirred up the heart of the king of Babylon so that a command was given for rebuilding the temple." Ezra can very well ask the king for security for all the things that he is carrying. Nehemiah can very well ask for the king's security, armies. Rather, they chose the protection of the Lord Most High. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. Me and my household will serve the living God. This is what is called depending on the Spirit. Moshe has chosen the reproach for the sake of Christ rather than the riches of Egypt. Will be too so easily tempted to choose the temporal pleasures and riches of this world. Rather, our first and foremost choice should be Jesus Christ. This is the first command. Love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. What will happen if we love God? Then the love of God will dwell in our heart and we will be able to love our neighbor as we love ourselves. If we love God and if we love our neighbor, where will be the conflict? Where will be the mistrust? Where will be the jealous and hatred? Where will be the greed to accumulate so much wealth for yourselves, so that all around you the people will be in sorrow, agony, crying, poverty, oppression? Moshe, I have heard the cry of the children of Jacob. I ordained you to go and bear much fruit. You have to stand before Pharaoh. Lord, I am not an eloquent speaker. I am not good at talking, you know very well. I cannot even speak few words properly. I am not a talkative person. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. I will not be able to accomplish this mission. Moshe, who has given man to speak? Who has formed mouth to man? Am I not the living God that has given ability to man to speak? I will be with your mouth. I will give my words to you. Do not fear. Lord, send the one whom you intend to send, not me. I am not an eloquent speaker. I cannot speak properly, fluently. How can I stand before Pharaoh? So many reservations, so many doubts, so many questions, so many arguments. Lord, if I go and say that God has sent me, who will believe? The children of Jacob will themselves not believe me. They will ask me for a sign. They will ask me who has sent you. They will ask me what is the name of the one who has sent you. What is your name? Even before the children of Jacob have asked any question, Moshe himself is posing many questions to God. If you are to have any questions, ask. It will be given. Knock. It will be opened. Search, you will find. Moshe was asking one after other, many questions. Ezra was asking one after other, many questions. Lord, will you be with me? Lord, your hosts, heavenly angels armies, will they be with me in my journey? Yes, indeed, my presence will go with you. Yes, indeed, I am that I am. Tell to the children of Jacob that I am the God of Abraham, I am the God of Isaac, I am the God of Jacob. Lord, they will not believe me. What sign should I show them? Moshe, what is there in your hand? I am an ordinary shepherd. I have a staff, shepherd's staff. Throw it onto the ground. You will see that the stick will become snake. Indeed, as God has spoken, the staff in Moshe's hand, when it was thrown onto the ground, it becomes snake. Lord, they will not believe. Place your hand on your chest, on your heart, and the heart turns to be leprous. Now they will believe. If they do not believe with the first sign, they will believe for sure with this second sign. Those that do not believe that I have sent you, they will be seeing leprosy in their hands, and that will stand as a sign, and they will not ask you any more sign, any more question. Is this enough? Enough, Lord, this is sufficient. You have to stand before Pharaoh and deliver the children of Jacob that are in oppression, that are in fear, that are in agony, in pain, in tears, in sorrow. They are weeping, they are crying. Their cry has fell into my ears. The God that has formed ears, will he not hear? బుద్ధిహీనులు దేవుడు లేడని అనుకుందురు. The wicked shall think that there is no God. He that has formed ears to man, will he not hear? He that has formed mouth to man, will he not speak? చెవులను కలుగు చేస్తున్నటువంటి వాడు వినకుండునా, కనులను కలుగు చేస్తున్నటువంటి వాడు చూడకుండునా, he that formed eyes to man, will he not see? God is not seeing, God is not hearing, there is no God at all. The wicked will say that there is no God because they are corrupt to the core, they are unjust, they do not fear God, and this is the beginning of foolishness. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. On the contrary, the lack of faith in God is the beginning of foolishness, and this foolishness will make man land in hell. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. Me and my household will serve the living God. How confidently Joshua could say to the children of Jacob, because all the 600,000 people that have started their journey from Egypt have perished in the wilderness. Joshua has seen all the things with his own eyes. Why? Disbelief. Why? Wrong choices. Choose for yourself whom you intend to serve today. Me and my household will serve the living God. Not one, not two, except two, and Moshe, except these three. All those that have started their journey from Egypt, 600,000 people, except three have perished. Moshe was received into glory at the threshold of the promised land, and Moshe has to ordain his servant Joshua to lead the children of Jacob from the threshold of the promised land into the promised land. At that stage, Joshua is telling to the children of Jacob, from the captivity from Babylon, Ezra was traveling again to rebuild the temple. In that moment, Ezra is praying to the living God, Lord, will you be with us? The path ahead is dangerous. The path ahead is filled with many thieves, many dreadful situations. Will you be with us? Will you grant your presence and protection and guard to all the things, all the precious goods that we are carrying with us? Yes, indeed, I am with you. My presence will go with you. Have you taken such promise from God? Have you received such assurance from God? Have you made a good choice of receiving Jesus Christ today? This is the hour of decision. Do not tarry, do not delay. Accept Jesus Christ as your personal Savior in your heart. This is between you and your God. You need not require permission from your father. You need not require permission from your husband. You need not require permission from your wife, because they will not be with you in the valley of shadow of death. Not even valley of shadow of death if you are a pauper. If your purse is empty, your wife will say, empty purse, throw away, use and throw. Should you take your wife's permission to choose the life? Your mother is no exception, your father is no exception. The preacher himself has seen all these relationships for 40 long years. Not 4 years, not 5 years. 6 years with wife has shown 70 years of agony. These are all the hard truths of life. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. Me and my household will serve the living God. If you are in good health, everyone is your friend. If you are in the promised land, everyone will ask you for a favor, everyone will ask you for a visa, everyone will ask you to write letters for them. And finally they will turn the image of God to the image of an ox that eats the grass. Should you believe in the pseudo relatives? The preacher himself has gone through many such pseudo relationships. It doesn't mean that we should hate everyone. It only means that we should give our first priority to Jesus. Then all other things will fall in line. Even if you were to get betrayal from anyone, nothing will ever shake you. The preacher has not moved an inch in spite of all the betrayal from so-called pseudo relatives. Why? Because the preacher's life is founded on the rock. Choose for yourself whom you want to serve. Me and my household will serve the living God. There are many instances in Moshe's life that made him stumble. Yet his life was founded on Christ, so nothing could ever move him. His own brother, his own sister have revolted against Moshe. Not others, only the family members, not outsiders, the pseudo relatives. They will come as cousin, they will come as brother, they will come as so many names. Should you believe in them? Should you need their permission to receive Jesus Christ? Make a wise choice. This is the hour of decision. Do you want to be wise? Then you have to choose Jesus Christ. Do you want to be wise? Then you have to build your life on Jesus Christ. Moshe did so. Where is Jesus Christ in the time of Moshe? Is it not foolishness to say that Moshe has chosen the reproach for Christ rather than the fleeting riches of Egypt? The word says so. What can we do? The foolishness of God is greater than the wisdom of the wisest. Thus says the word of the Lord. Moshe has chosen the reproach for Christ rather than the fleeting temporal pleasures of Egypt. Thus says the word of the Lord. I am the same yesterday, today and forever. I am the Alpha, I am the Omega. If Jesus Christ were not to be there during the times of Moshe, then who has provided water to the children of Jacob in the wilderness? What is the ancient rock? What is the rock of the ages that has provided water in the time of need? This is the rock of ages, Jesus Christ. This is the hour of decision. Make a decision for yourself. My fathers never knew Jesus Christ. My ancestors never knew Jesus Christ. That is no reason. Probably no good person like me has ever preached them the good news. You are privileged that someone is preaching you the way. నేటి ధ్యానాంశము ఆత్మ స్పిరిట్. ఐగుప్తు గుర్రములు మాంసమే గాని ఆత్మ కాదు కదా. The horses of Egypt are only flesh, they are not spirit. There is a tree of life and there is a forbidden tree. Adam and Eve chose the forbidden tree, and as a consequence, greed, jealous, hatred, and the list goes on and 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 endless. And God loved man so much that he took the form of man and dwelt with man as Emmanuel God, Jesus Christ, and in the person Jesus Christ, God made atonement for the sin committed by Adam and Eve. Once you believe in the atonement that is offered, made by Jesus Christ, the curse that was prevailing over Adam and Eve will not have any influence on you. As through one man's disobedience, death reigned over all, likewise through one man's obedience, grace and forgiveness of sins is also given. It's not by our virtues, it's not by our deeds. As the Father pities his children, God have compassion on us. As God is compassionate, as God has pity on us, God sent his only begotten Son Jesus Christ so that all our iniquities will be transferred onto the sinless Lamb. He who knew no sin was made sin for us, so that we will become the righteousness of God. What a wonder, what an amazing grace. Should we reject this tree of life? Should we reject this offer? Should we reject this wonderful health insurance? Should we reject these royal garments? Should we reject this royal priesthood? What for? Coronavirus is not spirit, it's only flesh. Joblessness is not spirit, it's only flesh. Betrayal from your relatives is not spirit, it's only flesh. How is it so? Because it can only affect your body and it can do nothing to your soul, provided you trust in Jesus Christ. You will be like a house built on the rock. No coronavirus can ever touch you. No AIDS can ever touch you. No cancer can ever touch you. We are living in perilous times. We do not know from where what happens. A pistol bullet is sufficient to put an end to our life, no? Yet the word of the Lord says, Abel. Even after being persecuted, even after being killed violently by his brother, from the earth the blood of Abel is crying out to the Lord so clearly, so loudly. What does this mean? Death is not the end. We are made for eternity. The blood of Abel is so clearly crying out to the Lord. What is the reason for the death of Abel? This is the first ever recorded event of violence in history. To make atonement for all the flaws, to make atonement for all the transgressions of man, Christ has come, being crucified as the lamb that is brought to slaughter, never opens its mouth. Jesus did not open his mouth to buy us pardon, to make us righteous in the sight of God, to heal us, to give us immunity from all sicknesses. Isaiah chapter 53 verse 5. By the wounds Jesus Christ has received, we are healed. Thou shalt not let your Holy One see corruption. Psalm 22. Much earlier than Prophet Isaiah, Prophet David is foreseeing the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, sufferings of Jesus Christ on the cross. I have come to fulfill all the words of the prophets. Jesus Christ has come to fulfill the law. Because Christ has fulfilled the law was nailed to the cross and the law is lifted once for all. So, we are no more under the law. Means death has no power on us provided we receive this grace. So long as we were under the law, death was reigning over us. Because we are all condemned by the law. For all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. As per law, we all have fallen short of the glory of God, fallen short of the measures of God to be declared as righteous. So, God Himself took the form of flesh and blood and in the form of Jesus Christ made atonement for all our iniquities. It is so simple to believe, but this is the gospel of God. Because the cross on which Christ was crucified has the power to deliver man from the hell, everlasting condemnation. Paul has determined to preach nothing except cross. Because the cross on which Christ has been crucified is the power of God that can rescue man from hell, that can rescue soul from the valley of shadow of death. Though I walk through the valley of shadow of death, I fear no evil. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. In life-threatening situations, even if you are in emergency ward, when you receive Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, what will happen? The peace surpassing all understanding will guard your mind and nothing ever will cause you to fear. You will never be fearful, even in the face of death. Even when you stand before the walls, gates of hell, you will not fear because you know what will happen once your soul is separated from your body. You will be carried to the bosom of Abraham. Hebrews chapter 11, we see a grand list of heroes of faith, and your name will be added to the heroes of faith, list of heroes of faith. Just, it's not by your deeds, it's only by the grace of God, so that no flesh can ever boast before God. Abraham inherited the celestial city. Is it because of his deeds or by faith? By faith, Abraham is regarded as righteous in the sight of God. By faith, in 100th year, Abraham received the promised child Isaac. Lisa